And there's something else here as well. I'm seeing a group. Um, I think you're in this group once. You're a part of this group, and I'm seeing a break from this group. So I think you've moved away from them. That happened at one time. Um, I can see why that is now. I'm seeing gossip around this. I'm seeing stories, gossip, and you've moved on. You've moved away from all of that. There's a lot of pretense here as well. It's like, oh, I'm such a good person. And that's all on the surface. But I think underneath the surface, obviously there's all this gossip going on. And I think you made it really, really clear that you wanted to get away from all that. This looks quite serious, actually. It looks like quite damaging gossip. Maybe someone was trying to damage your reputation, something like that. And it was a group of people. That's what I'm seeing. And I think this might be coming up here because someone's going to try. Yeah, I think someone's going to try and contact you, actually. So just watch out for that, because I'm getting this feelings of things. I'm getting this feeling that things are kind of being stirred up again in this group. There's some problems inside this group. I think there's going to be some kind of a split or something like that. I think someone's going to try and separate from these people. I think they might actually try and align with you or latch onto you or something. But you're not someone who just aligns with people. That's one thing. Excuse me. And, you've absolutely turned your back on them. You're not going to align with any of these people. Absolutely not. Yeah, there's contact here. It feels like it's coming out of nowhere. So I think you're going to get an unexpected message or phone call from one of these people. They're going to try and align themselves to you. But you haven't forgotten this gossip. You know all about this. You know what they're like. You haven't forgotten. Because if you look at the statue, obviously he's lying down, he's all by himself. But he still has these swords hanging over his head. And swords represent words to me sometimes. So these people are out of your sight, but their words aren't out of your mind. They're still over your head. So you're still thinking about them. It's not like you're sitting around thinking about them, but you don't forget them. So if this is you, you absolutely haven't forgotten this. And for that reason, there are others as well, but they're not going to be able to get close to you. Not at all. They are not going to be able to get close to you. Okay, so the last card you have, you pass the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, look at this. Your life's starting to turn around in a new direction. It's going in a more peaceful direction, a more fulfilling direction. You're fulfilled. This striving helps you to be fulfilled, in a lot of different ways. You've achieved a lot, but this is internal fulfillment. So it's really looking good for you. Really, really good. I'm just seeing this as well in this card. If you're in a relationship, there's something that's quiet. It feels very quiet. Maybe there's a lack of communication. Someone's not being all that easy to talk to. I think you might have actually tried to approach them a few times and say, come on, what's wrong? Do you want to talk to me? What's the matter? Because when I look at this wheel and these characters are coming around, this jackal and the snake, it's like you're coming around trying to talk to them. Are you sure you're okay? Just talk to me, please. I want to know what's wrong. And I don't think you've found the answer. And it's like they're up the top and they're guarding themselves. So there's something that's going on inside their mind. It doesn't feel like it's about you. I just have to tell you that. It feels like something they're dealing with themselves. Maybe it's something to do with this time of year, because I'm seeing memories bothering them and things like that. Maybe family problems. Some of these things can be triggering. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's something that's going on in their mind. It's something that's stressing them out. They don't feel ready to talk to you, but I think they are going to eventually talk to you. So try and be patient with them if this resonates, because I think it's not about you. They're not angry with you. They're not angry with you. I keep on seeing that, so I just had to say that a few times. I know it's really frustrating if you're an Aries and you've got someone who won't talk to you, but there's a lot going on in their mind, I think. And you'll find out what this is, I think. Okay, so the first card you have for your presence, the Emperor. And look at this Emperor's suit of armour. So again, you're not going back to anyone in this group. You don't care whether they want to talk to you or not. You're not going back. And, I think with all this gossip again, because I'm just seeing this situation again, because this is like, no, I'm not going back. I'm all armed. I'm ready to fight. No, that's what I'm getting there. And Yeah, when you're last around this group, when all this was going on, I think there were some people who were there for you at that time. But there's all this gossip, all this talk, and I think all this went on when you're at your lowest. You know, you're really going through a lot at that time, and then they were talking about you as well. Really lovely. So I'm seeing you sleeping a lot at this time as well. Maybe you weren't very well, or maybe you were just stressed. Yeah, I keep on seeing this again. Just watch out. Just watch out. I don't want you to feel paranoid, but I'm just looking at this coin in the Emperor's hand, and I think this might be what you're guarding against. Someone might come and ask you for financial help. That's what I'm seeing. Maybe that happened to you with this group in the past. Maybe someone asked you for money and you're at your worst and they were really gossiping. So there's that. So and also you've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, so you've got all this money around you. So that might be what it is, and that might be why you're on guard with your suit of armor. And if you are, I'm really glad you are, because you went through a lot with these people and they put you through a lot. You went through a lot when you were around them, and then they put you through a lot. Really, really horrible. And you're a generous person. You're generous with people who deserve your generosity. But people who don't help you when you're at your lowest and then they talk about you, they absolutely don't deserve anything. And I totally agree with you. I don't think they know that you actually know about this gossip. Maybe they think you still don't know. But you do know. And you're the last person they should try and fool. You're the absolute last one. So, yeah, if this is you, they're definitely going to contact you. So get ready for that. And they're going to learn a lesson when they do, because they're going to learn a hard lesson. You're the Emperor. That's what I'm seeing. They're going to learn a really hard lesson. Okay, so the next card you have for your presence, the Ten of Pentacles. And again, the other thing I have to tell you is your money's not going to drop. So you might be worrying, oh, if I get more spiritual, if this all happens, I'm not going to be as thriving. I'm not going to be striving and thriving. I'm going to just be all kind of hippie and relaxed, and then I'm not going to make any money. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. It might even increase as you relax more, because that happens quite a lot to a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of talking about spirituality and money, there's always a conflict with a lot of people here, and that might be what your worry is. If I become more spiritual, I'm going to lose money. And I think with a lot of people, especially some spiritual people, they have this mindset, not everyone, but a lot do, that, money's bad and no one should be interested in money and it's not the path to freedom. Well, no, it's not the ultimate path to freedom, but it does give you freedom. It really does. If I'm stressing about paying a bill and I'm losing sleep, I'm not very spiritual, because if you're like that, you can't focus on a spiritual life or anything else. But, if you don't have that stress around you, it can free you. It can free you to be yourself, because you're not stressing about all those things. There's nothing wrong with wanting a healthy bank account, absolutely nothing. And, you can be more generous as well. You can help people if you like that. But I won't go on about that. I'm just seeing this contrast here that a lot of people have, and you might have a little bit of that in your mind, that, if I change inside, I'm going to change on the outside and I won't be as successful. That's not going to happen, so don't worry about that. But yeah, about this change, okay, if you look at the coins on this card, they're like a barrier. They're like a barrier between us and the people on the other side. But with this change, the focus is going to be more on other things, experiencing new things, anything that's going to help you internally, your peace of mind, your peace, your happiness, your spirituality, any of that stuff, you're going to be doing more of that. So experiencing new things with other people, filling yourself up with these feelings and experiences, and yeah, just enhancing what's going on your inside rather than on the outside. So it's almost like, if you look at this card, it's almost like you're going to flip this card around, and instead of being on the outside, you're going to be on the inside where the people are. So you're going to be in this scene rather than on the outside. And that's exactly what I was seeing in the Four of Swords. And it's really interesting. They're right next to each other. So in the Four of Swords, I was seeing you're on one side of where the light is, where everything is, where the beautiful happiness is. And now you're flipping that around and you're going to join the other side. So very, very beautiful. I hope that makes sense to someone. I hope that's not too abstract. Okay, so the last card you have for your present is the Three of Pentacles. I was getting a bit worried about this reading when I started because I was a bit crazy, I think, but I think it's getting a bit better. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, the Three of Pentacles can be about, people coming together, working on things together. I'm seeing a partnership here. I think there's some kind of partnership coming up for you, or you're thinking about a partnership with someone. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, obviously this is something to do with work, and it feels like work, but it feels personal as well. So it might be that you're friends with them and you're going to do something work-wise with a friend. I'm picking up on a bit of stress around this, and I think it might have something to do with worrying about mixing business with pleasure, because I think you did that once. I think you got into some kind of, I don't know what it was, partnership. You worked with someone you knew, something like that, and it really didn't work out. So I think after that didn't work out, you said to yourself, no, never again. But if you look at this card, they're all working together. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing, what happened to you in the past. All these people are kind of working together, but there's a clear division here between the two sides. So obviously there are two people on one side, one on the other side. So, maybe there was some ganging up that happened, 2 against 1, something like that. And you walked away. You walked away and you just said, no more of that. I don't think this group that I'm seeing in the Four of Swords, this is something work thing. It's a friendship and a work thing. So I think then you said no more friendship and work things. I'm going to keep the two completely separate. But if this resonates, and if you are thinking about this new partnership and just considering this, I'm not seeing any problems here. I think they're a straightforward person. I think they're an honest person. You might have a few little problems with their style. They have a completely different working style to you, I think. But I think that's a good thing. You'll be able to learn from each other. And if you look at these 3 coins, look at these 3 coins that are forming at the top of this, card. They're forming an arrow. And obviously it's pointing upwards, and the background's dark, but the arrow is pointing up out of the darkness. So that says to me that this is going to be positive. It's going to bring you into a more positive place than where you are now. Not that you're in a bad place now, but the arrow is pointing up. Okay, actually, I think you might end up wanting to say no to this just because of this horrible situation you went through in your past. And of course, you do whatever you want, follow your instincts, that's absolutely fine. But I have to tell you, I am seeing positivity here. I'm seeing positivity in this partnership, I really am. So up to you, that's just the information I'm giving you about that. All right, so the first card you have for your future is the Nine of Cups. Yes. This is really interesting because I keep on seeing this change from a material thing, from goal orienting yourself to, more spiritual kind of thing. So I think this might be the start of this change. It feels like springtime. It feels like it's new to me, this card, when I look at this, something new. Okay, so there's this feeling of physical security here as well. This man has everything he wants. He's got all, he looks like he has. He has all these cups behind him, all this gold, and he looks very well fed. He looks as if he's well looked after. So there's physical security, material security, and then I'm getting this change. And then after that, there's this feeling of emotional security after that. So this is when this change happens, I think. Okay, I hope this is going to make sense. It's a little bit difficult to articulate, so I'm going to try my best. So hopefully this is going to make sense, because there's a lot in this. Okay, firstly, the first thing I'm seeing is there's something physical. There's something you want to manifest. You've been trying to manifest this for a while, and I'm definitely seeing a wish fulfillment here, and that's what this card's about sometimes, fulfilling a wish. So you're going to be able to have whatever this says. I'm actually seeing something in your hand that relates to this, or it's a part of this. It's like a small thing in your hand, and it's to do with this bigger thing. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. That's what I'm seeing. But if you know what this is, you'll know what that's about. And yeah, it feels like this thing's always been slightly out of your reach. And of course, that can be really frustrating for an Aries. It's like dangling a carrot in front of you and then running away. But, you know, that makes you as an Aries want it even more. So you've really been working toward this thing. Again, I'm seeing a lot of discipline that you've had to have. I was seeing that in the Knight of Wands to get this thing that you want. You've definitely been using your mind to manifest this as well. There's so much yellow all over this card, and yellow can represent the mind, intellect, and all of that. So you've used your mind as well. Now, okay, don't be angry. I'm not saying you're not going to be grateful for this. You absolutely are. You're going to enjoy this. It's fine. But I keep on getting this feeling of, okay, I've done that. What's next? What's around the corner? I've done that. So it's like there's contentment for a while, which is what this man looks like. And then it goes away. So with this man in this card, it's contentment, but it might be hollow contentment. We don't know because we can't see what's behind him. We can't see what's behind the curtain. Might be nothing there. So he might look really contented, but there's nothing there. So, you know, I think after you've received this thing, I'm actually getting this really big high. So you're going to receive this thing. It's going to be like, oh, wow, I'm so happy. That's fantastic. Then that dies down. And then it's this, what's next? What's next? I'm not fulfilled now. I thought I was going to be, but I'm not. I'm not saying you're not going to enjoy this thing. I'm not saying you're not going to be happy, but it's going to die down quickly. And that's where these crossroads are. That's when you come to these crossroads. That's when you start to change direction. It's like, I realise I'm not all that fulfilled. I am in a way, but never totally. So that's when I want to change. Now, you'll know which way to go as well. You'll come to this crossroads and you go, I know exactly which way I want to go. Now, if you look at these cups above this man, they're forming an arch. And arches are a symbol of protection. You know, people shelter from them when it's raining and all that. So your shelter is going to come from inside yourself, and it's going to give you that emotional protection so that you feel okay in yourself. You're not wanting to strive for these things and feeling down, and then you strive for another one, you're up again, and then you're down. You're not going to have these ups, downs, ups, downs. You're still going to thrive and strive. I keep on saying thrive instead of strive. You're still going to strive. You're still going to go after goals. That's who you are at your core. But with this new spiritual peace of mind that you're going to have, you're going to feel way more level, stable, not as many ups and downs. So yeah, very, very, very beautiful. And that's what you're going to do when you come to this crossroads. You're going to go down this path, and it's going to lead you to this beautiful inner self, this beautiful spirituality. I know that's a bit abstract, and I was trying to explain that. I might not have done a very good job, but I hope it makes sense to someone who needs to hear that. You know, the other thing I'm seeing here is if you're single, and if you are looking for someone, not everyone who's single is looking for someone, but if you are, you know, if you find someone now, that's fine, of course, that's great. But I think you'll be better equipped for new love after you've been through this change. So just something to keep in mind there, because sometimes this card can be about, I need to feel content inside myself before I find someone else, because this man's by himself. So that sometimes that card could be about that as well. So just keep that in mind if that's you. Okay, so the next card you have, you features the Hanged Man. Okay, I'm getting this silence again, and this kind of holding back, because that's what this man's doing, obviously. So this is about this relationship. Obviously, this is about people who are in a relationship, obviously. And I was seeing this kind of this relationship silence, or this lack of communication. I was seeing that in the Wheel of Fortune. It's here again. So if this is you, if you feel like your partner's withdrawn, they're holding back, they're not really saying much, and again, it looks like you've tried to approach them a few times, and I don't think that anything's really changed. And this is so hard for an Aries, because you know, you just want to let it out. You just want to open this all up, talk about this, and move forward, you know, but you can't do that. So yeah, this actually feels like anxiety to me. It does. It feels like anxiety. Might not be that severe, but it feels like that to me. So I have to say that. There's a lot going on in their head. It feels like their head's exploding, actually. Look at this man. So, yeah, there's a lot of stress in there. I have sympathy for both sides, actually. I've got sympathy for them because I've had anxiety before and it still flares up sometimes. So I know what that feels like. And I've also been on the other side. I've been with a partner who hasn't been talking to me and they say, everything's fine. And I'm like, well, it's not fine. Can you just tell me what the problem is? And like, no, it's okay. And it's so frustrating. So I know what it's like to be on both sides. I think they are eventually going to tell you what the problem is, if you have the patience to wait for that. I hope you do, because I don't think they're normally like this. And it's some kind of specific thing that I think is triggering this anxiety, and they're trying to deal with this by themselves. And it is going to come out eventually. I keep on seeing that. They will talk to you eventually, but I know it's frustrating. So try and be patient if this is you, if you still, if you do really care for this person, and I think you do. I think you do. It's really just about patience. Very hard, I know. Okay, the last card you have for your future is the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, I need to tell you this because I hate... Yeah, okay, I want to tell you about this. I don't want to see you go backwards. I don't want to see you go backwards. I hate seeing people go backwards when I'm starting to see a change for the good and I start to see them go backwards. You don't like losing out. This is what I'm seeing. You don't like losing out. And this is a similar thing I was seeing in the Ten of Pentacles. You don't like feeling as if you're going backwards. You don't like feeling as if you're losing out. So if you think you're going to lose out, especially goal-wise, you might start to subconsciously set yourself back again. So you might think, oh, I'm going down the spiritual path. I don't want to go after all these things that I used to go after. Maybe I'm losing who I really am. Maybe I'm losing myself. I need to go back to who I was. I need to go back to where I was. So that's the fear here. And I think that's happened in your past a few times, actually. You've moved forward spiritually and then you've gone back again. And I don't want to see that happen for you. And so I just need to tell you this. You're not going to lose out materially. You've worked really hard for what you have, and you're not going to stop going forwards as well. You're not going to lose that, and you're not going to stop being who you are. This is about the way you feel inside yourself. This is about your insides. This man's planted a seed. He's worked really hard to grow this money plant, or whatever this thing is. I wish I had one. A plant with money on it. And he's worked really hard. He's watered this. He's taken care of it. So that's where he is now because of all the work he's done. And he's not going to lose that. You're not going to lose what you have. So I just have to tell you that, because some people, I think I'm feeling that some of you or someone is worried about, if I change, then my life's going to change. Maybe I'll have to move to a tiny house. Maybe I'll have to, have less and be miserable. No, that's not going to happen.